His aggressiveness, his ability to displace people. It's hard to do in this league. His construction of his body, built like a gap, almost body type, but he can move very well for his size. So it's really cool to see him move around. And his ability to just use his length, which is really important in this system and any system, but he can cover up guys and he does a pretty good job with it.
Coach just said that 7-on-7 wasn't real football. We haven't seen 7-on-7.
True statement.
Okay. So no 7-on-7?
No, we want to incorporate situations a lot of the time within our team, but we also want to create a competitive environment. And typically in 7-on-7, quarterback can have a little bit extra time. There's situations at play when you go one-on-ones and you got a slant round. There's no post safety. So we try to incorporate the competitive nature and getting those things done in a team setting. That's what we did today.
What about 9-on-7 one-on-ones?
Again, it takes all 11 in this system. So we really like to include everybody in it. And it's just something we believe in.
What have you made of the work that Calvin Anderson's done?
What's that?
What have you made of the work that Calvin Anderson's done so far?
I think he's done a really good job. He made some strides in the off season. Learning at right tackle, and we bounced him back and forth from right and left. And I think he's done a really good job settling in at that position. And it's a guy that we're going to lean on right now at this point. And there's some plays out there you're seeing him, and he looks like he's played a long time. And then there's some stuff that's just been inconsistent at that position, but it's everyone in a sense of just getting used to what we're asking them to do on a consistent basis, and that's the growing pains that you're going to go through throughout OTAs, and then trying to clean them up and not make the same mistake twice in camp.
What has Netani Muti done to improve himself the last few months?
Sorry.
Netani Muti, what has he done to improve himself the last few months? Muti. Netani Muti.
Moody.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gained ground in the sense of, again, another body type. When you look at him, you're saying, okay, this is a guy that's going to play downhill. Another athletic guy that can move in this system at the guard position. That's a very competitive position. We all can see that. Again, with the pads, we can talk about that as far as when we move forward, we get a real good evaluation, but that those two guys are battling each and every day, and they both have really good characteristics to fit our system. To tag a starter across the board or at certain positions, I don't think that's realistic at this point, just because you don't want people to get complacent with what's going on. And that's going to happen throughout the season now too. When someone gets tagged to start at the beginning of the season, they have to continually show that they belong in that position. You can't just sit there and be an issue, or you got to have somebody behind you pushing them. And I believe that wholeheartedly across the board, not only the offensive line, but every position. There's a lot of guys pushing for spots. It's a very competitive offense as far as in the room, and it's a very they work together, which is really exciting. It's not a situation where we try to outdo this guy and make him look silly. They're coaching each other up, and a player-led team can really go far. And that's what we're trying to build into the system, not only philosophy-wise within the team, but taking ownership of your position and taking ownership of the guy next to you, whether it's an older guy or a younger guy working together.
Is there an ideal time to set that starting five up front before the season, or can it come as soon as a couple of days before the season?
Yeah, it's just, like I said, I think a couple weeks ago, we'd like to have it done week one. And that's definitely something you want to try to hang your hat on. But we're not going to sit here and put it in concrete and say this is how we're going to roll for the rest of the season. They're going to be always competing throughout the season.
Well, and if you've got guys hurt, like Billy Turner's not even out here yet, how much does that factor into, hey, we got to give him a fair shot, to him or anyone?
Yeah, that's the thing with Billy, with coming off an injury like he had and the rehab process of it, you've got to give him a chance. And it's not fair to Billy itself. So it's really important for the guys that are in there, just building the confidence level. Billy's played a long time. He's played pretty much every position but center. So we know what Billy can do. It's just, how does he respond? What's the acclimation period look like? All those things, all those answers will come.
Work on the passing game. Is Pat Surtain kind of as good of a test as you can ask for?
I'll tell you what, that defense is the whole defense. But Surtain is definitely one of them that challenges consistently every single day. I'll go over to him each and every day and say, "Can you let us complete a pass, please? Please, just once." But it is a very, very good defense. We get tested daily, and I appreciate those guys flying around and they're working together. This is a special unit. This is a special team. It's not very often where you got offensive and defensive guys congratulating each other after a play, and the next play going after it again, and then doing the same thing after the next play. It's a very competitive but extremely tight team, which is really exciting to see.
Coach,
Guys bringing with Russell Wilson bringing the guys out to San Diego the week before camp. Have you noticed that transfer over to training camp?
Anytime you get live action with the guy that's going to be throwing the ball to you, it's going to be very beneficial. Yes. Ton of options. I mean, having all those running backs that will make the roster, you're going to utilize their talents. And when we were in Atlanta, we had Tevin Coleman, Devontae Freeman, two guys that could roll and do special things. We had Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon and Williams. Like those guys, they're going to get their touches. They're also going to get put out wide. We're going to utilize them the best we can, and it's going to keep them fresh throughout the season.
What's been the most surprising part of being an offensive coordinator for you so far?
The lack of time I have to do anything. But I love it. I love it. I like having my hands in everything and just kind of organizing everything and just making sure everything is good. And just the core of our philosophy as a coaching staff, which we'll really dive into, is we have to reflect what we want with our players. And the tightness and the coming together, that's really important for us too, because we spend a lot of hours together and in tight windows, and we have to embrace each other. And with the young coaches that are on this staff, bringing them along and developing those guys so they can be a coordinator or a head coach one day. That's really important for us, myself and Coach Hackett, of getting those guys developed as well. But it's a special group.
Coach, what are you seeing from Brett Rippon and Josh Johnson right now?
They're really doing a great job of just being a shadow of Russell. They're doing a really good job of asking the right questions. They're playing the what-if game every day. They're on it as far as questions and having, ability to explain what they think and what they saw throughout the play. And then when they come back, there's always a good response on how they react to coaching. I mean, they've been a blessing in that room.
What do you make of the work your tight end group's done overall so far? And where are they at in the run? How much can you evaluate where they're at in the run game, before the pads come?
It's a talented room that it's gonna be very interesting how it plays out as far as who's going to be playing where. But I've been very pleased with their effort, their willingness, their ability to learn every day and get better at it. What they're doing a really good job of is not making the same mistake twice, even the young guys. So that's all you can ask for at this point. Now, when it comes to the run game and pads, that's the exciting part. Because now all the work they've been doing, it may be frustrating without pads, and we get that. But when you put pads on now, you can actually see and evaluate yourself, and we can also evaluate you as well.